I am excited in this video to share with you the 15 science-backed benefits of mindfulness, both for your mental and your physical health, and how this fairly simple practice can transform your life. Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Barker, and I love giving people tips for how to improve their mental health and start living their best lives. So what is mindfulness anyway? Mindfulness is simply paying attention on purpose in the present moment with curiosity and without judgment. You don't have to meditate for hours and hours or go on a silent retreat. You can start practicing mindfulness in simple everyday things. And the science on this is fascinating. We now have more than 20 years of thousands of research studies showing the positive benefits of mindfulness. So let's get into it. So let's start with the mental health benefits. One of the first benefits in this area is that mindfulness-based practice can help reduce your stress level. Studies have shown that mindfulness helps to reduce cortisol levels, which is one of the main hormones involved in our stress reaction. There was a study done in 2024 with university students where they had them go through mindfulness-based stress reduction, which is a type of therapy based on mindfulness. And what they found is that going through MBSR helped these students feel less stressed and more balanced. So think about it. Students who are juggling classes and homework and sometimes jobs along with all of that, mindfulness gave them the practical tools to help lower their stress. The second psychological benefit is that mindfulness practices can reduce anxiety and depression. Treatments like mindfulness-based stress reduction and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy have been shown to reduce the symptoms of anxiety and depression. There was a study done in 2023 where they took people who'd been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, and they put half of them in an 8-week MBSR treatment program, and then they compared them with people who were taking medication for anxiety. And what they found is that the people who just had the MBSR therapy and those who were on medication had the same reduction in their anxiety symptoms. Isn't that amazing? Because what that means is that for people who prefer to try something more natural rather than be on medication, that mindfulness offers a viable option. The third psychological benefit of mindfulness has to do with emotional regulation. What that means is that mindfulness helps you learn how to slow down and take a pause so that when something happens and you get that emotional response, you're able to stretch that time out between the stimulus and the response, take more time to reflect, and think more intentionally about how you would like to respond rather than immediately react. The fourth benefit in this category is sort of related to the previous one in that mindfulness helps us to be more resilient. What does that mean? It means that when life throws us a curveball, as it often does, mindfulness helps us to bounce back more quickly, because what mindfulness does is it helps us have more cognitive and emotional flexibility so that when something negative happens, rather than shutting down or spiraling, mindfulness helps us to be able to take those hits in a more positive way and with less wear and tear. Now let's move on to the physical benefits. You might be surprised how many there are. The first one we're going to talk about is how mindfulness can help lower your blood pressure. There was a study done in 2013 where they took people who were diagnosed with hypertension and had them do the 8 weeks of MBSR. And what they found is that the mindfulness practices helped significantly reduce their blood pressure, both diastolic and systolic blood pressure. I'm going to add this in here. While I'm making this video, I started to get a little frustrated with myself and I kept messing up and having bloopers, right? I could have a whole blooper reel. And I just practiced some mindfulness, right? I took a deep breath and I told myself, you know what? Just relax, calm down. It will be okay. So this was mindfulness in action in the moment. So let's go to the next physical benefit, which is improved sleep quality. One thing that mindfulness does is it helps to calm the nervous system. Another thing that it does is it helps to stop rumination. Rumination is when, the thoughts from the day just keep going around and around in your head, and that's the thing that stops you from falling asleep. And with the calming the nervous system, it can just be sometimes we're so stressed or we're so worked up from the day that it's hard to settle and to calm down. So by practicing mindfulness at bedtime, studies have shown that it helps you fall asleep faster, you get a deeper sleep, and you stay asleep longer. There's emerging evidence that mindfulness can also boost your immune system. And one way it might do that is by reducing inflammation, but another way is by reducing your stress. We know that there's a connection between stress and making you more vulnerable to illness or weakening your immune system. So perhaps by practicing mindfulness and reducing stress, that is what helps to boost the immune system. The next physical benefit of mindfulness is in pain management. Studies have been done with chronic pain patients, and what the mindfulness does is it doesn't numb the pain, but it helps the person change their relationship to the pain. It helps the mind change or shift the way it processes the pain so that the pain feels less intense. The last physical benefit of mindfulness is healthier habits. The thinking here is that by becoming more in tune with our bodies, by paying closer attention, becoming more present in the moment, that maybe that helps us make better decisions when it comes to our health. Whether it's eating a healthier, more nourishing meal, or maybe really paying attention to when our body is telling us we need to rest. There are also cognitive and productivity benefits to mindfulness. So let's talk about how mindfulness can change the way we think and also help us to be more productive. Another way that mindfulness can help is through improved focus. MRI scans show that mindfulness helps to strengthen the prefrontal cortex. That's this part of the brain up here in the front. And that part of the brain is responsible for things like attention and concentration. So mindfulness has been shown to help people have greater cognitive flexibility. It's shown to help lengthen the attention span. So practicing mindfulness is like training your brain to be able to concentrate better and to avoid those distractions when they start piling up. Mindfulness also helps improve decision making. It's been shown to reduce impulsivity. So that helps you avoid making those snap decisions that you might regret later. It helps you so that you can pause and reflect and act with more intention. Mindfulness can also enhance creativity. By helping to quiet all that noise in your head, it creates some space. And often that's where creativity lives. Ironically, with regular mindfulness practice, you can actually become more productive, right? That might seem counterintuitive because with mindfulness, we're saying pause, slow down, reflect. But notice what mindfulness helps you do. As we just mentioned, it helps increase your attention, your concentration, your focus, and all of those things can help you become more productive. In fact, there was a study done in the UK where employees were instructed to use a mindfulness app for just a few minutes a day over the course of several months. And you know what the results were? They found that those employees were less stressed, more engaged, and more productive. One of the most meaningful ways that mindfulness can help is in your social and emotional relationships. Think about it. If you slow down and you pause and you're more present with the people around you, whether it's your family, your friends, your coworkers, your students, people really feel that when you stop and you take the time to be fully present in that moment and really listen to them. That makes a big difference. One of my favorite studies is one that was done with teachers. And what they did is they had the teachers go through some mindfulness training, and afterwards they found those teachers reported that they were less stressed, less burned out, and felt more balanced. In addition, those teachers reported enhanced relationships with both their students and their colleagues. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and behaviors, including your inner dialogue. So if you are someone who engages in a lot of self-talk, or you just have a lot of negative thoughts, maybe you engage in a lot of self-criticism, mindfulness can help to calm all of that down and help you show more kindness and compassion, both to yourself and to other people. Wow, look at that. We just went over the 15 science-backed benefits of mindfulness. 15 reasons for you to start incorporating mindfulness into your life today. And it's not difficult. You can start small in simple everyday things, right? Like just paying attention to the sights and the sounds going on around you as you walk to your office in the morning, or making yourself some tea and sitting there and just gently enjoying the tea, or pausing in between activities and just taking a few mindful breaths. If you're a beginner in mindfulness and you'd like some help in getting started on your mindful journey, be sure to catch my video that's coming up where I go into more detail about some simple mindfulness practices that you can start doing every day. So subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that video or any of my other videos where I give people practical tips about how to improve their mental health and start living their best lives. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you take a nice deep mindful breath right now, and I will see you in the next video.